Well, good morning. Today is Monday, October 23rd. It's time for our weekly meeting highlights. This week it's about, is your way of eating sustainable? 6 steps to find out. We always start off with how I did the previous week on my weigh-in. I did not go last week. If you watch my daily vlog, you know that last Wednesday I was diagnosed with COVID. So obviously I've not gone anywhere. And this is kind of like a weird thing to talk about because I didn't really eat a lot, but I did eat last week, obviously, because, you know, you got to eat to live. But I didn't have a loss or a gain. I didn't even get on the scale. I'm just feeling really bloated from all the fluids I've been drinking. So we'll just see how the scale goes this Thursday. I do plan on going to my meeting on Thursday. It said that after 5 days, you can just go out in public as long as you wear a mask, which is my intention. I'm going to wear a mask and just sit away from other people, kind of sit by myself a little bit and just get better. That's all I can do. That's all I can do is get better. But anyway, the topic this week is your way of eating sustainable? 6 steps to find out. The perfect diet. It doesn't exist. Everybody's different. Everybody has a different way that they want to lose their weight. What does work for weight loss is finding an eating pattern that you can stick with long term. To get started, think about what you ate last week and then take this quiz. Anything that you're going to try, you can go on like a grapefruit diet where all you eat is grapefruit for a week and then you get on the scale and you lost like 10 pounds. Well, then as soon as you go back eating regular food, you're going to gain that weight back. Maybe not all the whole 10 pounds, but it's not a sustainable way to live your life. Look at Survivor. The people on Survivor are starving because they're mostly just eating rice and bugs and, if they do catch the occasional fish or whatever. But they might lose like 20 or 30 pounds in a month, but you see them at the reunion show and it's like, oh my goodness, they've even gained back more than they lost that they started with. And it's just because if you deprive yourself of foods, that when you can go back to those foods, or when you do go back to those foods, not so much that you can, because you can always have whatever you want in your plan. But when you go back to those foods on a consistent basis, then you tend to eat more of it and you overeat. So if you fit it into your daily schedule, like if you want an occasional donut, eat occasional donut. Don't say, well, I'm on a diet, I can't have a donut. I'm not going to go the rest of my life not having a donut. But, like maybe right now I can't have a donut because I know it's going to trigger something in me and I'll go off crazy. I can say in my back of my mind, I know I can have the donut. I know I have the points. I know I have the calories, intake that I can take this day. I know I can take these donuts. But are they going to lead me to something else? And then that's how you got to think each day. If you think you can eat a donut today and fit it into your plan and then get right back on track, just have that one donut and that's it, then more power to you. Do it, because then you won't feel deprived. And I think when you feel deprived is when you tend to binge. At least I'm speaking for myself. So these are some things that you're supposed to do. Number 1, I ate the things I enjoyed, and you either put a yes or a no. I still had my taste, but I didn't want to eat, but I knew I had to eat, if that makes any sense. I was hungry, but I didn't want to eat. I know it makes no sense, but it's just like when you're not feeling well, you should eat. And so the foods that I did choose last week, I have no issues with. I didn't choose anything improper, so I'm fine with that. Number 2, all foods were on the menu. Well, for last week, no. Only because I was not feeling well, and some foods I knew were going to cause some digestive issues, and so I avoided them at all costs. But for the most part, I'm going to not base it so much on last week, these questions. I'm going to base it on my normal previous week. That's a better way for me to do it this week, because I'll be answering no on all of these questions otherwise. But for the first thing, I ate the things I enjoyed. Unfortunately, I've been overeating the things I've been enjoying, and I've been enjoying them way too much. And so therefore, I think for the last couple of weeks, I've been very lax, and I've been and eating things that I enjoy eating. And I know this is going to make no sense. I ate foods that I really enjoyed, but in the back of my mind, I didn't enjoy eating them. I felt a little bit of guilt because I'm thinking, did you really need, like when I had some ice cream, I had 3 scoops of ice cream. I had a scoop of chocolate, a scoop of strawberry, and a scoop of butter pecan. Did I really need 3 scoops of ice cream? No, I really didn't. So did I enjoy it? To a point, but I was guilt. I had a little bit of guilt. Number 2, all foods were on the menu. I'd have to say no on that one because your daily menu doesn't consist of having something fattening every single day. And I would think in my previous weeks, I would say that some of my foods should not have been on a daily menu. Not like I said, you can have it any time during your plan, but not on a daily basis. And I was having some of those foods on a daily basis. Number 3, I was able to stick with my weight loss or health goals. I would say the first couple weeks I joined Weight Watchers, I'd lost 12 pounds in 3 weeks. So I would say, yeah, I was doing really well. But then I missed a week, and they kind of gave me permission to kind of go a little off trail. And then the following week I didn't go because, why didn't I go? I think I've only missed 2 meetings, or have I missed 3? Oh, I think I missed 1 meeting because it was I've missed 2, because the one I missed because it was my book club for the month. And then last week I missed because I was sick. That was both of them were legitimate excuses to miss, but not legitimate excuses not to stay on my diet, because I really didn't stick on my diet. And I could be social and go to events. I don't really go out that much. I mean, I went to a wedding, and I had a good time. I ate very mindfully. I did come back from the wedding and had a loss, so I was able to manage that. Number 5 is I was able to eat the same meal as family and friends. Yes, last week before I became ill, I went and met my girlfriend Kathy for breakfast, and I had a vegetable omelet with some rye toast and a glass of milk, a little bit of hash browns. I was very fine with that. I came home, I had a very light dinner and stayed well within my points. So, I was able to do that. And number 6, it was easy to find my food at local stores. Well, unfortunately, that's not true for me because there's a Walmart by me. I don't shop at Walmart. I don't like their meat. I don't like their produce, and I don't like their milk. Their milk tastes funky to me. I don't know. There's something about their milk I don't like. So I don't shop at Walmart's. Meijer's, I don't like Meijer's. I don't even go into Meijer's. And then, so we have a Kroger's. Our Kroger's is hit and miss sometimes. It's just hit and miss. So you just have to, it's not always easy to find my food. So I am one of these hoarders that when I see something, I buy almost everything on the shelf. So I have it in my pantry. The other people be damned. You should have got there earlier. You should have got there before Sandy got there, because I like the Simply Light orange juice, which is only 2 points for 8 ounces. The regular orange juice is 4 points for 8 ounces, so it's not really that many more points to have that. But I like the taste of the Simply Light better than the other one. So, and they don't usually have it in stock. So when they do, I buy like 5 or 6 of them, because they're, once again, all the preservatives they put in stuff, it lasts for 5 or 6 weeks. So I usually go through a bottle a week. Yeah, between Jim and I, we go through a bottle a week. So that works out for me. Okay, they said if you answered mostly yes and think you can maintain this eating pattern, great. The next step is to think what you need to do to keep it up. But if you answered no or aren't sure if you can do it long term, that's okay. Brainstorm a way to turn each no into a yes. Obviously, that makes sense. So here are 4 questions to help you make your eating pattern more sustainable. How can you incorporate a favorite food or 2 into your week? I'm not a prepper, but I'm thinking if I had it prepped, I would. Obviously, having it available in your refrigerator, not something that you have to go out and get. Because if you're going to go out and get, you're going to, binge shop, or you're going to, what's the word? I can't think of the word. Like you shop unconsciously. I know there's a word for that. As I'm getting older, these words kind of leave my mind. Swear words never leave my mind. They stay in there all the time. I can tell you any kind of swear word you want to know. That's up there in my mind. But impulsive. Thank you. I heard you. I heard you screaming it. I heard you screaming. Impulsive. When you go back, you have impulsive buying. And so it's better to have all this stuff right ahead. Number 2, can you plan ahead for an uncupping party or night out? Yeah, a lot of times you can. You really can. You can plan on having something healthy to eat before you go. Don't go hungry. If you go hungry, then you're going to hit the hors d'oeuvres or the appetizer tray, and you're going to go crazy. So, plan ahead. When I was really, really diligent on this plan, I used to bring my own salad dressing. I just order a plain salad and put my dressing on it myself. So that way I knew exactly how much dressing I had, and it was a dressing I liked anyhow. Number 3, When can you lean on 0-point foods or weekly points for more flexibility? There are so many 0-point foods that if you just put that on your plate, put a protein, which is for the most part 0 points, and then work around that. Put your vegetables. Always have a starch. Not always, but like have a starch. You need to eat from all the food groups. Don't avoid a food group because that's the worst thing you can do for your body. You need fats. Nobody likes to hear that, but you need fats. You need some carbs. You need protein, lots of protein. You need fruits. You need vegetables. You need grains. You need dairy. You need all of that stuff. Your body's screaming for it. So you need to listen to your body. And number 4, what recipes in the WW app might your family also enjoy? I'll be honest with you, I do not really care too much about the Weight Watcher recipes. They always have ingredients that you don't have on hand. And they'll ask for like a quarter teaspoon of like sarsaparilla. I know I'm just making that up, but like a quarter teaspoon of something that you don't have, and then you think, and so then you think, well, maybe I'll go buy it, and then you think like that little tiny little jar is like $8, and you think, I'll pay $8 for a quarter teaspoon of this. Is this really going to work? I follow people that have great recipes. Kim and a Girl on Her Phone, Recipes with Roy, Jones Pointed Plate, Cat on Point. They all have great recipes. They really do. Lainey, if you're like on a plant-based diet, Lainey shows a lot of plant-based diet foods. I've always told Lainey I couldn't eat her food. But more power to her. Right on, because it works for her. Once again, what works for you is going to work the best. So don't, just because Lainey does a plant-based protein diet and it works for her, doesn't mean it's going to work for me. And just like my foods that I eat probably won't work for Lainey. So you just got to work it out. And I just like watching real people with real recipes. Dish with D is another one. Great recipes. So, look at me. Name dropping, but there are so many. I have a cookbook. I know I can't get to it right now. It's about this big of recipes they're not from a recipe book, from my YouTube people that I follow. I see something and I make it and I love it, and I sometimes I forget about it, and then I go through the rest and I go, oh yeah, we haven't had that in a while. So, but let's dive a little deeper. Raise your hand if you tried to lose weight other ways before joining Weight Watchers. I did. I've tried the starvation diet. I've tried the grapefruit diet. I had a diet where I had a bowl of Cheerios in the morning for breakfast and I had a can of tomato soup for dinner. I lost like 40 pounds on that diet. I gained back 60 once I went back to eating the right way. I was at Tops, Take Off Pounds Sensibly, which it wasn't taking off pounds sensibly. I don't know how they got that name. I never did like the Nutrisystem or the Jenny Craig or anything like that. But I've come up with my own plans. I did the cabbage soup diet, but I find for myself when I follow the plan, the Weight Watchers plan works the best for me. Did any of these diets ban foods you enjoy? Yeah, almost all of them did. Or feel so restrictive that you couldn't help but overthink whatever you were having? Now, who wants to look forward to tomorrow I get to wake up and have a bowl of Cheerios? Maybe I'll put a banana on it as an added spice, an added treat or whatever. Can't wait to have that tomato soup for dinner. Who does that? I wanted to lose weight, and I lost 40 pounds, like I said, but as soon as I went back to eating, I gained 60 pounds before you could blink your eye. I mean, I gained it back so fast. That's true, because others diets don't work. Research shows that the most successful approach to eating is one you can stick with long term. And for most people, that means flexibility and livability, not restriction. In other words, a pattern of eating that includes nutritious foods that you enjoy and keep on track, plus wiggle room to account for things that influence your food choices, your environment, your social situations, cultures, and more. With so many things influence us in our eating behaviors, finding out what works for you is not always going to be easy. Finding what works for you is something that you can really work on and you can really do. And as anyone who has accidentally gone over their points budget knows, you may not get it right all the time. That's normal. This is a journey. Just keep making room for what matters to you, and success is a lot more likely to follow. I screw up just like everybody else. I've lost a lot of weight. I've gained a lot of weight back, but I'm in the process of losing that weight again. I wish I would have kept it off, obviously, but I didn't listen to my inner voice inside that said, just follow the plan. You can still have what you want. You don't have to have it in excess. And when I was eating it in excess, I just got into a depressed mode. Like, you know what? Okay. I never wanted to get into the next set of numbers. And so like when I went from the the aughts, like the '09, into the teens, I thought, oh, this is disgusting. But I'll be okay. Then when I got into the 20s, I thought, well, now it's time to kick butt. Now it's time to get back on track. And then I got into the 30s and I got very lax. I just kind of gave up. And then I got into the 40s. Now I'm in the 50s. So it's like, no, I swore I would never get back into the 50s. I have a doctor scale where there's a thing that you clunk over. And my biggest achievement, my crowning thing was when I could click from the 250 back to the 200. And I swore I would never click that 250 box again over. And the day I had to do that, I sat down and had a big bowl of bananas. I made a banana split. I had a banana. I had 3 scoops of ice cream. I had hot fudge. I had some strawberry syrup. I had whipped cream. I had nuts. And just soaked up all that up. It's like that was going to help me get under that block of putting that thing over. And all it did was lead to getting closer to 260. So I just had a realization that, now is the time once again to get serious. And so I think I'm back there. There's 3 fast facts. A research shows that the most successful dietary approach for weight loss is one you can stick with long term. I guess they're going to try to beat that into our heads. 2, leveraging your natural preferences and tendencies is a good place to start. And 3 is when your eating pattern takes into account food you like and the things you tend to do with it, it's easier to stick with. Always, always remember that there's nothing on this diet, and I know you shouldn't call it a diet, it's a lifestyle, I understand all that, but I always say that no matter what you eat, that's considered your diet. So don't think of it as a diet as to lose weight, think of it as a diet that's going to sustain your life and give you longevity in your life, because I think that the healthier you eat, the more likely you are not to get sick. I have not been eating very well for the last year and a half. I just really started concentrating on getting better just around my birthday time. And I know that COVID is not like a germ that you catch that you get sick. But I'm a firm believer that if your body resistance is down, you're more susceptible to sickness and diseases and things like that. So I'm back to trying to make sure that I stay healthy so I can live a long, 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 long life. And I had mentioned this on my daily vlog that I have not been this sick, and I couldn't tell you how long. And it's because I haven't been eating healthy, and that's the reason. But there's a lot of flu going around. There's COVID going around. There's colds going around. There's allergies going around. There's everything going around. So I think that the only way you can really, in my opinion, I'm not a nurse and I'm not a doctor, although I play one on TV. We always say that in my family. I just really do believe that if you put healthy foods into your body, that you're giving your body a fighting chance at least to fight off infection. Is it going to work every time? No. You're still going to get sick every once in a while. I think that's going to happen. But I think that this really dragged me out. This almost put me out. I'm not put me out, but I mean, this really dragged me down. This really gave me a rude awakening. And it made me realize that I have to get back to eating healthy again, because I haven't been this sick, and I couldn't even tell you the last time I was this sick. I just really can't. And I don't want to do that again. Been there, done that, not again. So how did you guys do on your weight loss? What foods do you try to avoid but like to work into your schedule, or like into your diet? We all know I love a good donut, but I know right now I can't have a donut. It's just not going to fit into my plan. But does that mean I'm never going to have a donut? No. I have something else. I found protein bars that I like that in my mind tell me that they're a candy bar. They're shaped like a candy bar. They almost taste like a candy bar, and they're healthy for me. So sometimes you just got to trick your mind. So what do you do? What are some tricks that you use? I'm kind of curious. So anyway, I hope to see you here next week. Check in on Thursday to see how I did, because I do plan on going to my Weight Watchers meeting. I am not anticipating any kind of a great loss. I really am not, because the 2 weeks that I didn't go, I really didn't follow my plan. And last week, I ate just to eat. I mean, I should put it differently. I ate to get stronger, and so I might have eaten. I didn't eat any sweets or stuff like that, but I might, and I didn't really eat a lot. But I'm very bloated, is all I can say. So. I'm trying to sound like I'm making excuses, and I'm not. So anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and share. I hope to see you back here next week. Check me out on my daily vlog. Talk to you soon.